Hello friends. So in this video I am going to discuss an important topic. Basically it is a topic for a reporting point of view. So this topic says that in a lease we need to reclassify our lease. What is my short term liability portion, what is my long term liability portion, right? So every lease we record is a long term liability, but we need to calculate what is my short term liability. And how to calculate our short term liability is that we need to first understand what is my accrued interest till the reporting date. So for example, if I show you my lease data, this is the exported data from our Dynamics 365, and this is our period interest. So this is my periodical interest and this is the accrued interest. Accrued interest means it is accumulated. So these two will be equal to this much and these three will be equal to this much. So basically it is accumulating, right? So for example, let's talk about this January month data. And if you are following my series, so this is the same example which I have explained in multiple videos of mine. And so here what is happening, friends, we can see in Microsoft Dynamics we have two columns available. One is short term liability and second is a long term liability. So Microsoft Dynamics is calculating what is my short term liability, and how it is calculating is by a simple formula which I am just going to explain you. So first we need to calculate our accrued interest. So accrued interest till the month end. So accrued interest is calculated here, right? So and for example, for the second month, what will be my accrued interest will be this much, which is the sum of these two, right? And what will be the third 3 year accrued interest, three period accrued interest means these three, right? So the second thing is we need to check the principal portion of the payment due in next 12 months. So whatever we are going to pay in the next 12 months, we need to bifurcate what is my interest payment and what is my principal payment. So how it will be done, I will just show you. So this is my total payment column, right? And this is my interest payment. So total interest which I am going to pay. So if I just show you this total, so if I just show you this total will be equal to this much, right? If you can see on my screen at the end, this total will be equal to this much. So what we are doing is, firstly we are calculating a total, and then the interest payment are getting calculated. So out of this total payment, this much interest I am going to pay. So how to calculate the principal is simply getting the difference of these two, right? So this is my principal portion which I am going to pay, right? So what is my the short term liability will be equal to whatever my accrued interest is on my balance sheet, and whatever is my principal portion which is due in next 12 months. So understand the accounting concept. Accounting concept say whatever is on my balance sheet. So current accrued interest is on my balance sheet, right? And the principal portion of payment. Principal portion means we already have the lease liability recorded. If I just show you here, you can see that we already have this long term liability recorded in the form of lease liability, right? So that's why we are considering this principal payment only, because accrued interest, if I just show you, the accrued interest is not on my balance sheet. This much accrued interest from February to December, right? So only this much of accrued interest is on my balance sheet. So this payment plus our principal payment we need to consider as a short term lease liability, and we need to separate from our long term liability to short term liability. And how it is done in system, I'm just going to show you that as well, right? So this concept was very important. Logical explanation is that whatever is on our balance sheet carrying amount, that should be considered. So accrued interest means this is a liability that exists right now because we have already accrued the interest. So not all the period interest, only the accrued interest which has been accrued till our month end, right? So if I'm preparing our report for January month, if I'm preparing financial statement for January month, then I'm going to consider only accrued interest till the 31st January. If I am going to prepare a financial report for February, then I'm going to consider the accrued interest for the February month, not more than that. So this is how we are going to compute the accrued interest. And second is the principal payment. So principal payment, I have already explained you that total interest payment which I am going to pay. And what is my total payment? So total payment minus total interest plus the accrued interest, right? Plus the accrued interest. So this is our concept, right? Now, uh, now I think you have understood this concept. So let's go to the system and just do our accounting, right? So let's go to lease summary page. Here I have already created a short term lease classification. So what we can do is I will just go to books. I'm not going to create the lease summary and then going to show you all the all the steps, because that you already know. Go to liability amortization schedule, and here you can find the columns: short term liability, long term liability. So this is the exact table which I was just showing you, right? Now see, system has already calculated, but the liability reclassification journal is not created. So I need to, I will explain you this concept as well, but before that I want to create that journal. So go to batch journal creation, go to short term lease liability reclassification, and select this lease book. So you need to select the lease book, and I want to create the journal for 24. So I will just select this month, and I'm not going to select the post button because it will directly post. I want to see that journal before posting. So I will click on OK button. Let me duplicate my tab. And here let me go to lease summary page. Go to your lease and select the book, and go to liability amortization schedule. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a journal. So the journal is created. You can see that journal is created, right? And yeah, this tick mark is for journal, whether journal is posted or not. So I will just open this journal from here. Otherwise, you can also open this journal from the asset leasing journal screen. I will just click on this button to open the journal entries and explain you that journal entries as well. So the system is posting the journal entries as long-term lease liability will be debited and short-term lease liability will be credited, and the accounts are here. So I will also show you the where to set up this account. Basically, in the asset leasing journal posting profiles, there is a short-term lease liability account. So there you need to set up. I will just show you that. So before that, understand what the importance of these dates are. So system what is doing, whatever date we put in the journal, so the system is going to post the date on the at the end of the month. So system is going to post the entry at the end of January. So system is reclassifying the short term lease at the month end, and after the month end, immediately system is going to reclassify the short term lease liability to the long term lease liability. As you can see, it has posted the journal on 1st of February, immediately after one day. So this is whole concept, so that you know what is happening. If I'm going to run the journal, if I'm going to run my financial statements for 31st of January, then automatically our lease liability will be the short-term lease liability will be classified, and it we can generate our financial statement accordingly. Now let me just show you where we set up this account. So go to asset leasing, parameters, go to accounts, go to short term liability, and here you can set up the account, right? Hmm. So this was about the account setup. Now I want to show you, go to lease summary page, because we want to post that journal as well. So I will just go to books. So I've explained you one way to see the journal is in liability amortization schedule. Another is that you can go to asset leasing journal screen. Here you can find that journal. So you can see that journal. It is getting posted on 31st of January, and it is getting reversed on after one day, right? Now you can see all the account, then you can post this journal. So automatically your short-term liability will be classified in a separate account and in a separate balance sheet account, so you can run your financial statement properly and you can do your reporting properly. So if I go to view detail here, so the account type will be liability account and the main account category. So you can always select a very uh, detailed main account category, like such as short term lease liability main account category, so that when you choose this category on your financial reports in your management report, or we call it as financial reporting, you will get this classification automatically. So that's all about this short-term lease liability. If you like the content, then please subscribe to my channel and like this video and share it to your friends. Bye.